Hey, Dimitri, and to everyone else out there, welcome back to Design Dr. BossKey. And today we are looking at the very first concepts based on something we love from Castlevania Symphony of the Night called the Skull Lord. And so we did a kind of nod and homage to this character. It's super simple, but I've always loved it. So here is some of the original sprite art from Castlevania Symphony of the Night that I really just resonated with me. I just love this. This guy is great. Totally embodies some of like that cool high fantasy style that we've got here. We have a temporary version that we did, and we called him Skullzor in this case, the Spirit Realm Keeper of him, and he's a boss you fight in one of the challenge levels. Dimitri, thank you for that. So let's jump into it real quick. I actually did more feedback than I expected on this guy for just a simple skull, right? So we have a version here that Dimitri did for us. Thank you. So we kind of have these elements that we explored here. And so without further ado, let me show you the things I was thinking to use. So, all right, cool. So I like the big eyes in this particular case. I didn't mind some of the other things. You totally had me at the horns, so the horns are fantastic. Let's add them, of course. And I also want to remind you, I think there's something here with like mainly the shading and also the way the eyes. So I want to point out that we should have transparency around the around the eyeballs, if you will, the eyeball images. So there's not really going to be fleshy in that case because in game we have a lot of fire. You can kind of see here, right? And one of the things I kind of like is just my own design sensibilities, but so we have this cool particle effect for the flames emitting in the back, right? And I like that because we have the transparency, you see the flames behind the eye sockets here and in the mouth a little bit, and it's kind of coming out of the back, so it just makes it fucking better, right? So and then we have the large version here for the enemies there. So you can kind of see that also in motion without a bunch of stuff. All right, so back to the feedback. All right, so that was it. Transparency also in the nasal cavity, if you will. So I want to make sure we have transparency in there. So, and I also, it's maybe just a tiny bit of shading, but I think I lean more towards the nose here. It's not much of a difference, but keep that in mind when you're thinking about it. I also really liked, it's a subtle thing, but you have these stronger line strokes here on this side or around the lines for the skull itself. So I really like this, just a little bit more than this here. And then let's see. All right. So also this might be slightly an illusion. I was looking at this, but it feels like the head tilt is just a tiny bit better. And it might be because of the way that the horns are coming up, but it looks like I think that the head isn't, like here, the head is basically what it looks like looking straight to the left. I kind of like in this perspective that the head is tiny, like the gaze is just a tiny bit off. And some of that might also be in that in here, the eye socket, right? We have a lot more definition here on this eye. Like it's not really a socket, but the eyeball in this case of what you've done. So it could be a combination of those things, but I thought I'd point that out here. And then, so thinking about this guy, wait, let's see here. Did I? Okay. And then, so we have a little bit of feedback here. So I really like this kind of ectoplasm, thing that they've got it going on from the original. And I think we can do a take on that. So I just did a very, very quick, exploration, but we could take those lines and of course the exploded bits. And I really want to make sure we kind of have this incorporated in the texture itself. And so we can kind of do this thing. Maybe we do like a little bit of a spectral outlining, light on the line transparency, but definitely that bluish transparent glowing, right? You're the artist. I'm just this is my crude version. So yeah, so there's that. And then quick exploration here. So I thought, see here, I thought what we do is why don't we try a version, the next version we have here, where basically this part of the skull is caught kind of mid explosion. So we have these not particles. We have these skull bits, right? And it's kind of like if something exploded from the back of the skull itself. This is just sort of kind of giving an example. I don't think we have to go as crazy on the cracks, but we could do like some cool like cracking and like the bones are just exploded outwards. And I think that also will look pretty cool because we could do some deeper fissures and cracks maybe that also then allows that flamey particle effect that we have to really kind of give it a little bit more of like this inner fire thing that's just that's driving the whole, you know, Skullzor force, I guess you could say. All right, I think those were the main pieces. Let me just double check. Did I miss anything? Yeah, I got my crude, crazy Photoshop stuff here. No, I think that's it. All right, I'm looking forward to the next version. To everyone that's been out there following the channel, thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.